All right, here is part two. We're going to deal with tariffs, immigration, and inflation because that's every headline that's going on in the news and the media today. And basically, the story that we're hearing is that immigration and tariffs is really going to drive inflation. And in the next few minutes, we're going to talk to you about what's really going to drive inflation, what you're not hearing in the popular press. And I hope what's going to happen is you're going to feel just a little bit calmer and just a little bit more confident about it. Now, like I said before, there's no shortage of people that have got strong opinions on inflation. And some of these people are very loud, and some of them are very click-worthy. But for us, we go to people that really pay attention to this stuff and people that study this stuff deeply, and they're not just trying to get likes and clicks. And the through line, no matter who we listen to and who we read, is that inflation is much more of a monetary phenomena than it will ever be about tariffs and immigration. That's not to say that tariffs and immigration can't influence it, it's just not going to be the deciding factor. And we don't really have to go too far back in our memories to kind of understand why this is. So, if we go back to March of 2020, the world shuts down, it's COVID, and central banks all over the world flooded the global economy with dollars. And at the same time, we had massive supply chain disruptions, which really made many goods and services short in supply. We had all this money just bouncing around in economies all over the world, chasing too few goods. And that really is what sets off inflation. That's why inflation is referred to as a monetary policy, right? At the same time that we had this going on, we also had tariffs at the same time, and we also had a big change in immigration with the number of people coming across the border here in America. So we have seen these times before. And really, at the end of the day, when we look back on that recent event that we all remember living through when it was hard to get toilet paper, it really wasn't the tariffs or immigration that caused inflation. It was the response of the Federal Reserve and how they flooded the system with money that ultimately caused it. Now, the truth of it is, inflation is going to go up and down over time, but without any doubt in my mind, based upon people that really study this stuff and they're thoughtful about it and reading enough of economic history, the strongest force in the world that's going to really dictate the path of inflation, whether it gets worse or it subsides or it gets better, is going to be really the Federal Reserve. It's going to have nothing to do with headlines, and it's going to have very little to do in the long term with policy. So here's what I really want you to take away in this second video. If your retirement income and investment strategy is based upon headlines, it's based upon fear, gang, I'm sorry to say, but you are always going to feel vulnerable. But if you build your income plan and your investment plan on timeless principles based upon things that work like diversification, owning pieces of real businesses that got real earnings and real profits, and having a plan to outpace inflation so that you're able to maintain not only your standard of living, but to protect your lifestyle, that's how you're going to win over time. Our job here at Quest Capital and Risk Management is not to react to headlines. Our job is to really kind of help you break it down in order to make informed decisions. I hope that these last two videos have been helpful, and I will see you really soon. Thank you very much.